I love you. Welcome back to the Couch Potatoes. We have a riveting monster sequel smash today in The Predator vs. Prey, or Prey vs. Predator, whichever sounds right to you. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
I am the Faceless Leone, and we are talking about the OG Predator movie, not the...
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the 2018 one, just to clarify.
Yeah.
And
not Predators.
Oh, that was Predators? Okay.
Oh, wait, no, I guess they did call it Predator 2, didn't they? That was Alien. Alien did the Alien and Aliens.
I don't know. I haven't seen that. This is the only Predator movie I have seen.
You haven't seen? Oh my gosh. You have to watch the Donald Glover one, man. It's hilarious.
I have heard that it's hilarious. I have heard that. So, this is a podcast about movies and TV called Green Faces on the Couch.
It's Donnie Glover, too. It's Danny Glover.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the childish Gambino.
That would be really funny if he just reprised his dad's role for the sequel to, I don't know, I thought there was a remake. Maybe the remake's coming out.
Is that his dad? I didn't know that.
Is it not?
I mean, I didn't know. It could be. Hold on, we'll find out.
I'm finding out.
We really are. Danny Glover versus Donald Glover. Are they related? He is not, despite rumors, related to actor Danny Glover.
Well, I fell into the trap, and I think I might have said that before on this show.
Oops.
So, apologies to both of you, but that would be really funny if Donald Glover played the same character. Still.
Right. I do think they could remake it easily and get a lot of good comedy boost out of that. I mean, here's the thing with the Predator franchise. I watched the first one as a kid. I loved it in the fact that it scared me. You know, it had some good horror elements, especially some good gore that young me was not anticipating. I don't remember if I don't think I snuck this one past my parents. I feel like they were just like, oh yeah, we like this movie. And then like, as they were watching, we're like, oh yeah, there's some gore isn't there. You know, I think that might have been more the case.
Oh yeah, they blew that man's head to smithereens. Oh. Like a watermelon.
Did he just tear that man's spine out? Maybe we made a mistake. Maybe we traumatized this kid. No, I'm not traumatized. I'm a perfectly well-balanced little boy. but I watched The Predator, loved it. Watched Predator 2 with my brother, laughed at it, did not love it, but like thought it was funny. I think he likes it, like genuinely likes it, and that's great. You know, if you can you know, watch those films and laugh and enjoy, that's something that I can't do with that film. I know I've seen the first Alien vs. Predator, and I hated it. I thought it was so stupid. And same thing with The Predator, the 2018 film, which has Keegan-Michael Key, I think. I gotta look that one up. I know he's been in a Predator movie. We discovered before we start... Yeah, it is Keegan-Michael Key. We discovered before we started to... it also had Boyd Holbrook, the Corinthian.
Oh.
Interesting. So that's where I saw him before. I was trying so hard to figure out. Here we are. 4 episodes later. The mystery solved. That's what you get with Green and Faceless, guys.
The powers of ADHD.
we discussed beforehand that The Predator, the 2018 film The Predator, was directed by Shane Black, who is also in the original Predator movie as a very inconsequential role. He's like a radio operator or something.
So I
thought that was kind of funny.
He's one of the last guys, I think. Maybe not. I can't. No, I'm thinking of Poncho. He and Poncho just looked like the same character to me. Sorry, but Poncho lives longer. I think Hawkins is one of the first to die. He might even die before the Predator shows up.
He might even not be a Predator kill. No, I don't remember. I know he's in it, and I think it's kind of cool. I didn't know when I watched The Predator, the 2018 The Predator, film.
Right.
I didn't know that was Shane Black was in the original Predator until I watched it yesterday, and I saw his name on the cast, and I was like, Shane Black, the director, really? And I looked it up, and I was like, oh wow, it is the same guy. That's really cool. So that's kind of awesome. I like those little tidbits in cinema.
Right.
But pretty much what I'm trying to say is my overall feeling of the Predator is I like the first one, and then thought the franchise was pretty shit. And then in 2022, this year, they released a new Predator film. It's a spinoff called Prey.
Yeah.
It goes way before the original. It's like, what is it? It's the early 1700s, I think. Maybe?
Yes, I believe it was 1740 or something like that. Can't tell you.
Yeah, pretty early. Yeah, early to mid. So it's like, it's a couple hundred years before the first Predator film. So I like, cool idea. It's Native American.
They're Comanche, I believe. I'm gonna look it up to have it right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. Yep, young Comanche. Yeah, it's a very cool concept. So I was kind of excited, but it was also a Hulu original film. So I was like, oh, okay. But, so we decided to put those together today. And,
here we go.
Do a good old-fashioned sequel smash.
So should we go in release order, or should we go in chronological order?
I think we should go in release order. I think we should talk Predator 1987. Directed by John McTiernan of Die Hard fame. And other stuff, of course, but I know him for Die Hard. And it's written by Jim and John Thomas, a screenwriting brother duo.
Nice.
I love that. And it's very masculine. That's the whole point of this film. Is it's machismo versus monster.
Machismo versus monster. Do you think then it could be analyzed as a commentary on toxic masculinity?
I feel like I was watching it with that viewpoint this time around, honestly, and like I felt like it actually could work pretty well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was their intention.
No, probably absolutely not.
Yeah, and I don't know if what I'm about to say is also their intention, but there's also a lot of homoeroticism, and I fucking love it. And like I feel like it's like Top Gun, where it's like unintentional homoeroticism, but it's great.
I don't know, man. Blaine and Mac all the way.
I know. I love it. Blaine, of course, we haven't even mentioned the most important people. Well, the most important person is Blaine, of course.
Yes, yeah.
Played by Jesse the Body Ventura.
Before The Rock,
it's
like,
so funny.
he nowhere got to the popularity of Dwayne Johnson, obviously. But before The Rock, Jesse Ventura traveled into films. I guess Hulk Hogan did too. But Jesse Ventura also went the same route as Arnold Schwarzenegger and became a governor. So there's two governors in this movie. God.
Oh, that's right. He did.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
At least
this
two
movie
governors.
is so political, guys. And then, of course, next important would be Blaine's best friend.
Yeah, Mac. Bill Duke. I don't know how Mac deals with Blaine's chewing addiction, but,
I know, right? Jesus.
Sticks by him.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah,
and they're both Blaine is also fairly misogynistic in this.
Yeah.
As is most of the crew.
Right.
Most of them are who's the one who keeps making all the stupid jokes? The very bad. Which one is that?
You
remember?
I don't know. Maybe it's Poncho or Hawkins.
It could have been Shane Black. That would have been hilarious. One of the members just keeps making some very inappropriate jokes. It wasn't Poncho, I will say that. I know it was
if it wasn't,
thin white guy.
I think it had to be Hawkins then, because that's the only ones that were on the ground, I thought. Isn't there Billy
Soul as well?
Oh yes,
the tracker
Billy
and scout
Soul,
played by Sonny Landham.
But he is not a thin white guy though.
Okay, I couldn't remember what he looked like because I don't have a photo of him.
He was the Native American tracker trope, unfortunately, but still some representation.
Gotcha. So yeah, it had to be Shane Black. It had to be him making the awful sexual, very disgusting jokes that he made like 4 of them, I think, 3 or 4 of them. And like that's this movie is like all of them. They're all soldiers. They're all men. They're all manly men with their muscles that are all well sweaty and oiled. And they're all like the best scene though is we're joking, of course. The biggest names are Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch and Carl Weathers as CI operative Dylan. And
Dylan,
I fucking love this scene where they see each other, and he's like, Dylan, you son of a bitch. It's just so good.
Yeah.
And then they clasp hands and they squeeze each other's hands, trying to like best each other.
Yes.
And their arms are just bulging and rippling. I'm just like, this movie is so gay. I love it. Like we're focusing so hard on this. But yeah, it's a very machismo film. And as I was saying, there's like unintentional homoerotic moments. Like one in particular being when I can't remember which member is crawling on the ground, but the camera like very much is on that guy's ass the whole time, like just focused in on his ass scooting across the ground. And I'm just like, man, like they had to know what they were doing. Like they just had to. and so they're all called out to the middle of the jungle area. Where are they at? Where is, like, I can't remember where this whole takes place.
It's somewhere in South America. I believe it's in Colombia, but I could be wrong. Oh, yeah, if I'm looking up everything else.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I'm trying to find it in a Central American rainforest.
Okay.
That's all it says on Wikipedia.
A fictional Central American banana republic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They're a secretive group. Arnold Schwarzenegger's men are called in by CIA operative Dylan. And again, played by Carl Weathers. I love it. And so they all go down. You know, they land. They're trying to find some of their men, right? What are they looking for? I can't remember what they're initially looking for.
So a chopper went missing or something, and Dylan, CIA man, is put in charge to find these men. And he gets his old buddy and his crew, being Dutch, to come along to get them. And so it is men. It's like a rescue mission. But also once they get there, Dutch very quickly finds out that Carl lied to him and that there was like information that that was really wanted or something. I don't know. It wasn't clear what the betrayal was, to be perfectly honest. Right. That's the biggest flaw with this movie, I think, is that they try to put this tension in there. It doesn't matter.
Right. And the monster's motivations also, there's no explanation really, and I don't remember one being there in the first movie at least, as to why the Predator is there. You know, we know from the franchise at least that it's going there to become like the ultimate predator, to train basically. I don't sadly remember what I was saying though.
I know we had some technical difficulties, folks, and we're coming back in. I don't think we said that much about Predator yet.
Yeah, we were just talking about why they were in the jungle, like why they were in the rainforest.
That's right.
Like, while they go there, when they get there, they find the people they're looking for. They're men, but they're strung up, upside down, and skinned alive.
Yep. Yeah, and some of them are missing their spines. I don't know.
Yeah. Some of them are missing. I thought maybe they weren't skinned alive though. Maybe that was the damage done by the animals, the vultures and stuff that were well, I guess not vultures, but whatever's eating at them.
It's possible.
But yeah, they cut them down. They determined that maybe they're not just up against gorillas. The gorillas as in like GUER, maybe they're up against like some human enemy now. Maybe they're up against something far worse. Yeah. There's some boring stuff in between where they fight humans, but the fun stuff happens when it becomes a quick takedown by the Predator.
Yeah,
they start to see this this creature in the rainforest that's camouflaged, that's it's invisible, but when it moves, you can kind of see the outline of it. You can see the invisibility of it. It's really cool. For 1987, the effect is okay.
I think it was pretty good for that time.
It's definitely a little dated, but it's still good. You know, it's like you can still enjoy it.
For 81, I think it's very good. Is what I was trying to say. I think it blends.
But it was 87.
Oh, it was 87. The last movie we talked about was 81.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good for 87 standards. Like, they probably had better effects, but, like, it works. It's not bad. The monster itself, the predator itself, is really creepy because you immediately see the devastation of its weaponry. Because I think it's Blaine that it kills when it shoots it with its gun, and it just, like, blows out his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Jesse the Body Ventura, man.
He's one of the early kills, honestly. So if you were coming into the movie for him, I'm sorry. The real story is Mac's reaction. Mac has this, like, whisper monologue, or soliloquy maybe even. And
he's always whispering in this movie, too. Like, he's always so quiet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, when Carl Weathers, like, about slips down a hill, he says, "Are you about to ghost us?" Something like that. Like, I don't know if at first I thought he was if he was asking if he was running away. And I'm like, he's the guy who headed the mission. But anyhow, I think he was talking about giving away his position. And he was like, "If you compromise our mission, I'll kill you myself." And it's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, so scary.
And then later on, Carl Weathers walks up to all I could think of is Bill Duke. What's the character's name? Mac.
Yeah.
All I could think of was Bill Duke. But yeah, Carl Weathers is Dylan. That's right. Dylan walks up to Mac and is just like, Mac looks up and he's like, "Turn around." And Carl Weathers like turns around and looks up like, "What are you looking at?" And then Mac stabs something on his back, on Carl Weathers' back. And Carl like whips about with a gun like, "What the fuck? He's killing me. I knew it." It's just Mac was just killing a scorpion that was on Carl's back. Yeah. And he's just like, "Got it.
You're welcome."
I love it, man. You're welcome. And he always whispers. Yeah. He's such a whispery man.
Yeah. Just like Whispers in which is the first Roger Moore movie. Live or Let Die. Live and Let Die.
That's right. I forgot about that guy. It's so silly.
That's probably my favorite minion yet.
That's fair. That's really fair. But yeah, that's really what this movie becomes is the Predator starts hunting them off one by one. When they go to the guerrilla camp and they have that little fight, they capture a lady, Ana Gonzalez, played by Elpidia Carrillo. So sorry.
That's okay.
Definitely butchered that. But yeah, she is an insurgent, and I don't know, for whatever reason Arnold didn't want to kill her, probably just because it's a machismo movie. We can't kill the woman,
right?
So they capture her instead, and as they're leading her back through the rainforest, trying to get out of the rainforest to leave the mission because they know they're being hunted by this predator, they just start getting picked off one by one, and the thing clearly has better technology than them. They recognize that immediately. Its weaponry is super explosive, very deadly.
Oh yes.
It's got claws on its hand, like blades on its hand or whatever. Again, it's invisible. They can track it when it's moving, but it's still very hard to do so. And Arnold eventually discovers that the predator sees in heat vision kind of thing. It determines, its vision's different. It doesn't see like we see.
Right.
It sees
the heat signature
or heat signatures. And so, yeah, that's the fun part is watching, when it becomes just Arnold versus the monster, right. That's when it really gets there. But watching everybody else die is a very good horror, gory fun fest. Like, there's a lot of good kills and some really good gore.
If you're a Quentin Tarantino fan for the gore, then you're going to like this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For the storytelling, probably this isn't a Quentin Tarantino movie, so don't compare it to that.
Yeah, there's not much story. It's very simple.
Yes.
It's it's just a group of soldiers in a rainforest getting attacked.
Yeah.
For that, I do really enjoy it. I really enjoy just the simple horror plot.
Right.
And I enjoy the gore, but the machismo stuff is a bit much at times.
Oh, definitely. Were you ready for closing statements then? I feel like that was kind of going into that.
Yeah, that's totally fair. It's a classic for a reason. Like, people love it for the Arnold one-liners.
Oh,
He's got a lot of good ones in this.
Oh, this is the get to the chopper.
Yeah, get to the chopper. Yeah.
Run!
Run! Do it! Kill me now! Come on! Do it! I love it. When it comes Arnold versus the Predator, it's fucking phenomenal. That's when the gold of the entire movie is watching them both prepare for this final battle against each other. And then the final battle is tense and exciting and, pretty well shot and everything. Like, it's a very fun finale, but a lot of it leading up to it, except for like the fun, gory kills, is kind of not forgettable. It's still very fun to watch, but it's just hard to remember, I guess. It's like, I do remember it.
Right.
I remember enjoying the fights and everything. But yeah, it gets lost in all the machismo jokes.
Right.
So I'd still give it 3 stars. And I still do recommend it because it's a fun 80s action film.
Yeah, I think it's really fun for what it is. But yeah, I'm not super big on, the high machismo stuff. Maybe in my early teens when I thought, yeah, I gotta get into this stuff. Football.
Yeah.
But I really also loved Arnold Schwarzenegger growing up.
Yeah.
Probably, honestly, mostly because of the Batman movie. But
That's fair.
Also Jingle All the Way and Kindergarten Cop.
That's right.
And
yeah, we definitely watched a lot of those.
We should do an Arnold Schwarzenegger playlist sometime. That'd be fun.
Just re-air all of our episodes that we've done of them.
That's true. I suppose it has been a few at this point, hasn't it? So, I give it a
Not
face.
too many, though.
It is worth watching. I can't say it's my favorite franchise. I don't know if we were recording when I said, but this, up until I watched Prey, was the only Predator movie I had seen. I've seen the 3 Alien movies, but not past that. Oh, I guess, no, I was gonna mention Prometheus, and that is an Alien movie. So
yeah, it's an Alien spinoff. And I don't even know if it's in the same world as Alien vs. Predator, or if Alien vs. Predator is even in its own world.
Maybe Xenomorphs, or whatever they're called, are in that.
I know they are, but like maybe that's its own universe. Maybe that's a multiverse thing. Maybe the Aliens vs. Predator takes place in its own timeline. I don't know.
We'll just have to wait till we watch them all and talk about it on the show.
It's like I've seen a lot of them, but I've never just cataloged what they all mean to each other because they're all just silly after a while.
Right. Well, I think we talked about that one. Let's take a soda pop break and come back in just a moment.
I love you. Are we back?
Gotta get comfy.
Are we back?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay. Whew. Playing a dangerous game with the weather, I think. I think the weather's making us lose technical.
I do think so.
Our audio all the time.
Can you hear me?
But yeah, we're back with Prey.
I keep on asking if you can hear me.
That's gonna be the whole episode is just us. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Okay, so here we are, Prey. I am very excited to talk to this movie. So Prey stars Amber Midthunder as Naru, and I knew Amber from Legion. Have you seen it?
I have not, but I I've watched the Bad Movie before, but not. I don't think they have any ties together.
Oh, what did you say you saw?
The movie. The movie called Legion, where it's about the crazy alien, or the crazy demon. I mean,
no, that doesn't have, because this is an X-Men show. Legion is, and I do recommend it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it has Jermaine Clemens as one of the main recurring characters.
Nice,
and he is pretty great in it. Really, the whole cast is pretty great. I would say in the second season, it's really hard to keep track of the plot, but it's a psychological thriller. Each season is a psychological thriller, and it's branded and told in a completely different way each season. And
nice. I really liked her in this, so I would definitely check it out just for her, honestly.
She is one of my favorite characters in it. She shares, along with, I'm trying to remember the other character, she shares a body, if you will, with this other person named Carrie Loudermilk. So the story goes that
Mid Thunder and Loudermilk all in one body.
So they're both named Carrie. They're the same person. So they were born at the same. Yeah, they were born at the same.
I thought you were saying the actor was named Carrie Loudermilk.
No, the character is. She also ages slower than her male counterpart because she only ages when she's outside of the body, but most of the time she's inside the body. And they're oh, I see. They changed the spelling for the two characters. That's not clear in the show. But the male Carrie, played by Bill Irwin, is with a C and one R, and her name is K with two R's. It's actually completely different. You'll have to look it up. Anyhow, I love those characters in that show. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Prey, not Legion.
Yeah, she is amazing in this too.
Yes.
Like, honestly, the best part about it. So there's two good things that I loved about it: is her acting and Dan Trachtenberg's directing.
It is so good.
It's so good. He did 10 Cloverfield Lane, and that's the John Goodman one with I can't remember the ladies, Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Okay,
I think,
if you say so.
I can't remember. I can't remember, but it was a good movie. I really loved it. I loved Cloverfield. I thought Cloverfield was fun. 10 Cloverfield Lane happened. I'm like, it does a tie-in, and it does, but it's a very interesting way it ties in.
Right. It's like a different narrative of the same event.
Yeah, and it was, I was really kind of blown away by it when I watched it in theaters. It was really good. I haven't since watched it, so yeah, maybe it's dimmed a bit, but if I rewatch it, maybe I wouldn't like it as much. But I remember really liking it. And Dan Trachtenberg comes in yet again with another sequel to somebody else's project, and really blew me away with it. Like, I really fucking loved it.
That's true.
I can't believe it was just dumped on. I mean, I know it's a Hulu film. But I can't believe this didn't have a theatrical run because
right,
it feels like it should have been in a theater.
It is it has a very epic feel. Now, I'm not saying it's an epic because it doesn't take place in a great amount of time or over a great period of land. If you give that the definition of epic over a period, a large span of land, then all the James Bond movies are epics, and we don't want to say that.
No. Well, you also have to have crazy set pieces and everything. This one does have some really good focus on the period because, as we mentioned, it's early 17 or mid 1700s.
Right. Very few.
Oh, I just saw it. Where was it? 1719.
1719, so or even earlier than I said. Yeah. Wow. So,
Northern Great Plains.
The really white people, more exclusively French traders, have been spreading out across Comanche land, hunting animals for commerce. And, but there's still very few white people. In this film, they do show all the bison getting killed. Not getting killed, but lying on the floor. And it actually confuses Naru, who is Amber Midthunder's character, because she's also seen some other strange things that have been mutilated. So she actually confuses the Predator and white traders, but that's pretty late in the movie. I did want to express that there's very few white people in this movie. Most of the characters are these Comanche people. And
from the little research I did, it seemed like they cast mostly Native American actors.
They did, yes.
I mean, at least Amber Midthunder I know has Native American ancestry. There's a few of them. Just looking at
her brother.
I don't have sadly links.
Her brother
Tabe. Okay.
Yeah, Tabe is played by Dakota Beavers, and Wasape. I believe that Stormy Kip, he's very much a Native American actor. And there's also Julian Black Antelope, who played the chief. They did a very good job of casting.
Yeah, and I'm reading here that Tabe, Bennett Taylor, I gotta figure out who Bennett Taylor is real quick. Did he write it? Is he a writer? Nope. I don't know who Bennett Taylor is. But this guy, Bennett Taylor, confirmed that the script for Prey revealed that Billy Soul from the Predator movie, who was a Native American tractor and scout played by Sonny Landham, he is a reincarnation of Tabe, reframing his last stand with that film's Predator as being due to subconscious memories of a past life.
Huh.
Interesting. They did not do that in the movie, of course. That's just apparently in the script.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
kind of like that. Maybe
I like that too.
I don't know. I'd have to rewatch them again with that idea in mind.
Definitely.
But yeah, Naru, not her name, not to be confused with the Australians' way of saying no. It's so hard for me. Naru. Naru. But yeah, she is a woman in her tribe, her Comanche tribe and nation. I don't know.
Well, there's the Comanche nation, but I believe the nation is contrived. Contrived. That's not a word.
Contrived of tribes.
Yeah, it's contrived of tribes. Comprised.
If you're contrived of tribes, I think that creates the new word contrived.
Contrived. So the nation is contrived. Sorry if I'm insulting anyone.
This movie focuses a lot on, and from what I know, it's mostly historically accurate in regards to like the interpretation of their society, because she is expected to be a hunter-gatherer. Or not a hunter-gatherer. She is expected to be like a gatherer and medicinal.
Yeah.
Whereas the men are supposed to do the more physical actions like hunting and that kind of stuff. But she, just because they told her she can't, very much so wants to be a hunter. Yeah. And that's how the movie starts, is she's out hunting. And all the men are kind of looking down on her, being like, hey, you can't do that. You know, that's a male thing. You know, you're supposed to be doing the medicine. Yeah. But she just keeps, wanting to prove herself. And her brother's kind of also encouraging her.
Yeah. But at the same time, he still will say something that is with the tract of their traditions and whatnot. He still is very much a man of the community, but he is trying to allow this to happen. I believe she is his charge as well, because their father is dead.
Yeah, and with the French
the
community, or whatever they're called, the French traders. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, with them nearby too. Their tribe, the Comanche tribe, is in need of a war chief. They don't have one right now, and Tabe is kind of on the path to become that. He's their best hunter, and he's out there, trying to lead. And so, when they have a new predator roaming around, because as we mentioned earlier, Naru senses, like she sees tracks, and again, as we also saw the weirdly mutilated carcasses of certain animals, she sees all of this and knows that we're not just facing a mountain lion, which is what they were originally going after. We're not facing a bear. We're not facing French traders. We're facing something much different.
Yes.
It's kind of fascinating because you parallel both the predator and Naru's progress in hunting. because the Predator, he's invisible.
Right.
He's just like looking around. He sees a rat scurrying, gets hit by a snake. He kills the snake because he thinks that's the better predator.
Yeah.
Oh, along comes this like elk kind of thing. Gotta kill that. I think he even fights a wolf. There's a wolf fight. Like it slowly like shows him increasing. Yeah, and paralleling that, you get Naru's hunting expertise. She starts off, I think, also fighting a wolf or like hunting an elk or something. Like it's a nice progression you get of them. Both basically growing to each other, coming to each other for this big final battle.
Right.
And throughout, it's also very, very well paced. There's like no slow moment. There's always some new action thing they're doing, or they're talking about the tribes,
or they're training with their throwing axe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she ties a rope around her axe, and like it's really cool. I will admit it's really cool because she can whip it back to her hand and everything. But like it kept bothering me because like I don't know. I don't care how good you are. I feel like there's got to be mistakes happen. Like that was the thing about like you watch Jackie Chan fight films, and like there's mistakes to happen when he does that kind of shit.
Right.
But he fights with those mistakes. He uses those mistakes to his advantage. And in this, it's just perfectly just comes right back to her palm each time. Like every time she pulls it back, it's like whack right back in there. And I'm just like, come on. Mm-hmm. Like there's one moment where it betrays her, where she's sinking in quicksand, or it's a bog. It's like she's stuck in bog water kind of thing. And she's trying to use her axe to pull her, like she's throwing it at like some deadfall, and she's trying to, use the rope to pull herself out, but she can't get the axe to stick. So that's nice. There is a moment of tension featuring the axe failing her, but whenever she fights, it never fails her.
But
it's
also
just perfectly back to her hand whenever she needs it.
It was still necessary for her to have a reason to tie her axe like that so she could use it to save her. Because otherwise she wouldn't be able to do that while she was struggling in the bog. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it did help the plot in that way, and it looked really cool.
Right.
It looked badass as fuck.
It did look really cool. And they also the bog also comes back around. They use the bog again for the third act, and I like that's another nice thing is they set up that third act really well. They show all the hunting tactics and everything that make that final face off between Naru and the Predator.
It's so
just
good.
Come to fruition. Like it's
good.
A good fight scene. I really enjoyed that. That's really good. But all of that aside, there are moments of things that are just not good. And specifically, the not good for me was the CGI. There is some, specifically on the bear. The bear CGI scene is horrendous. I thought I could not stand whenever that bear is moving. So Naru, in her tracking of the Predator, comes across a bear, and she's with her dog Sari. And I'm like panicking the whole time. I'm like, if they kill the dog, I'm out. Like I'm done with this movie.
Was thinking that was going to happen.
Oh, I was going to be so mad. Thankfully, I will say, because I know this bothers a lot of people when you're watching movies. If you're going to go into Prey, I will spoil one thing, and that is the dog comes out okay. If that's going to bother you going in, just know the dog is okay. It gets hurt once, but it's not that bad.
There's some close calls, but most of the time, and this almost bothered me, most of the time when the real danger is there, the dog's gone. He's just nowhere to be seen. He's not in the scene. And
well, it's supposed to run away, I think. It's supposed to guide and help them track, like when they're hunting, it's supposed to like keep the animal close and bring it back to the hunter.
And they do,
but I think it's trained to stay out of it.
They do show her giving it Comanche commands, which I appreciated.
See, that was my other problem with it.
Really?
They're all speaking English, and then occasionally they'll speak commands in Comanche. And I'm just like, why would I know that it wouldn't hold over well with American audiences. I get that. But you're just dropping it on Hulu. Why not just do the whole thing in Comanche? And just do subtitles. If you're gonna have Comanche commands, that would just make it feel more authentic. Like the whole movie, it felt really historically accurate in regards to the technology they used.
Right.
In regards to,
Well, that's what it would be if they got Roger Eggers, but they didn't.
I know, right? the English just bothered me. It just felt weird because it even becomes like a plot point that, like, you know, when the French come in, they need a translator to talk to them, and the translator is, you know, he knows French and English, and so he's just talking to them in English. I'm just like, what? Like, it just seems so weird. Like, I don't get the choice.
Yeah.
I get budget wise they couldn't have done it probably. Maybe it was just a complete budget thing. But what they should have done, and like I think they were hinting at it, but there's movies, I can't remember one off the top of my head, but there's movies where you'll open up the film speaking in the native tongue, speaking in the language of wherever the film takes place. And then mid-sentence it transitions to English. Yeah.
And I thought they did do that.
They kind of did that. They had one sentence. They spoke one sentence in Comanche.
And then they translated.
And then she repeated that sentence in English.
Yeah.
So it's like, they kind of did it, but it doesn't flow right. They should have done it like mid-sentence so that we understand, okay, they're speaking Comanche, we're hearing English.
Yeah.
And what ruins that effect of them doing that is the Comanche language used for commands. Because then it's like, okay, so they are just speaking English. They're not just speaking Comanche. Because
I thought
otherwise
it worked. And if we're going to talk about it like it's a courtroom, there is precedent in video games of typically, specifically Assassin's Creed, they'll go around talking, and then occasionally regional words will pop in. But you'll get what it means from context. So it worked for me, anyways. But I also would have liked it if the movie was in Comanche, I think. I mean, there's enough action that it would have worked. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I think we're just the weirdos that would have appreciated that way more. Like, I get that, you know, again, American audiences tuning in on Hulu, they probably wouldn't have been like, I don't want to read these subtitles forever. You know, this movie sucks. But, like, I don't know. It seemed weird. Like, I do appreciate them having the Comanche language utilized.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. When they did it, it kind of pulled me out because I'm like, so are they speaking English? Because my brain just fixates on that kind of stupid stuff. It just bothered me.
I think for me it was more clear when the French people came in because they spoke exclusively French until the translator, who I believe is Bennett Taylor, playing Raphael, he starts speaking to them in Comanche. And he says, I speak many languages, and it's English, though, you know. He says, I speak many languages, and yes, I speak Comanche. He asks her if she is Comanche. And then they start talking.
But he never says that he speaks their language. He's just speaking in English, and she just understands him. And that's where it just got confusing for me. That's where my brain fixated. For me,
I took that as he was speaking Comanche. So I don't know.
They needed to just specify it. They needed to make it very clear that that's what they were doing.
I don't know if they did or not.
And it's like,
that's a good point.
And I say they need to do it. They really don't have to because obviously it's a very small nitpick by one obsessive compulsive disorder dick like me. Like it's all it really is.
You cut the dick off.
That was the only thing that and the CGI, that was all that took me out of this experience. The bear CGI was so bad. Like,
yeah, it wasn't that great.
When it runs, it looks so goofy because it looks like somebody just like was like holding the image of a bear there and was just moving it up and down and like jerking it back and forth. Like, look, it's running. You know, it's like kind of what you would do to a kid, where it's just like, seriously, go to Hulu or go to YouTube, whatever. Look up the bear CGI and pray, and just have yourself a good time because it looks so fucking hilarious. What were we talking about?
Well,
crap, I just forgot what I was saying.
I don't remember what you were saying.
Oh, the bear CGI.
We had more technical difficulties. Yeah, the bear CGI.
Yeah, I had said go to Hulu or YouTube, look it up, and have yourself a good time because it's fucking funny to watch that bear run. But that's not to say that the scene itself isn't fun.
Yeah,
because it's a really good tense scene. Like, because even though the bear CGI is hilarious, well,
it fights the predator, and that's cool.
Yeah, That's so cool. I love that scene. And it's even more cool too because again, the predator is still invisible.
Right.
But when it gets hit with the blood of the bear, when it like that blood coats it,
yeah, it like rains down on him. Grody.
And it, like you wanted to talk the technology. I think that's the perfect area because that's when you get to see the predator. When you get to see it,
that's
no longer invisible, and you see what it's wearing.
So I wanted to kind of compare and contrast the two. Just a little bit. So, first off, just
the two being the original Predator movie.
That's right. So, that iconic Predator helmet, it's made of metal, very clearly. Some kind of Fartech metal. And when he takes it off, he's got this goofy face under there. And I do think the face is just a touch less goofy in this one, but it's still... it's still pretty true to the original. Yeah, the true face.
That's the problem with another problem with the original is once the mask is gone in the original movie, it just looks goofy as fuck all. Like, but I agree with you here. Here, it still looked intimidating. It still looked alien.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And this mask is comprised of something that this guy killed. So it's made of bone.
Yeah,
but it also is laced with the tracking technology it needs for its bolt cannon. And it uses bolts, and that's really interesting because the guy in the original movie, it was some kind of laser cannon.
Right. It caused explosive damage.
Yeah, it caused huge explosions. And I also appreciated that it used melee weapons and stuff like that, too. I get the feeling that this might be the Predator's first encounter, the race's first encounter on Earth, because at the very least, I don't think it was aware of that humans were here.
I agree with you too, just because of how it hunts the predators,
right?
How it shows it evolving with what it's killing,
right? It's trying to find the strongest beast there, and also I don't think we mentioned in the first movie that there's this name that I was gonna call her Melania, but that's in the Bond movie. The one woman in the film, she gives the Predator a name, the demon that makes trophies of men. And I love that. I just wanted to mention.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
I mean, it really adds to the horror of that first film.
Yeah.
And the second one doesn't have much horror. It's more of like action sci-fi. There are horror elements still,
right. Definitely.
Especially when it becomes Naru versus the Predator.
Right.
But like the first one has a lot of really good horror, and then this one, Prey, more action, and like I still enjoyed it a lot. I think I enjoyed it a lot more actually than the original. Now that I'm thinking about
it, you don't even have to ask. This movie was amazing. I love the lead. I mean, I do have a nostalgia part in my heart for Arnold. Gotta say, but
that's true. Yeah.
I really enjoyed Amber so much in this movie, and I loved her in Legion as well. I wish that show didn't stop, but I'm glad that you're in movies now. I hope to see more of you. Now this is directly to you, Amber Midthunder.
Goodbye, all other couch potatoes. We're speaking specifically to Amber Midthunder.
Did I mention everything?
Her performance is fucking fabulous.
Did we mention everything we should about like the tech?
I think so, because that's really all it has is just those blades, and it's
right.
It's bolts.
But both of them have those two blades that kind of come out like Wolverine claws. But also the Prey alien, he has like these cool tomahawk things that like are also chains. Like when they yeah. And then also, like, it has these two, like, he could either use it as a maul or a spear. Like, one end had a spear on it, the other end was just this huge club.
Yeah.
It was badass.
It was pretty cool. And he did a lot of brutal deaths. Yeah. And there's a lot of, like, brutal amputations and some good kills. So, it's still recommended easily in regards to its horror, but it's not as horrifying as the first one. The first one had a lot better horror elements.
I'll say.
But if I'm to close on Prey, I give it 3.5 stars. It's fucking phenomenal, man. Yeah. Like, go to Hulu and check it out.
I give it a face and a half, even though I do think some people are getting tired of the she doesn't want to be like other girls story. Because the truth is, what the story that should be being told is, don't push people into a corner. They will find what they are good at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've heard some feminists talk to that effect, like in a TEDx, that this story is demeaning to the other women that are following around along with gender norms because they feel that they must. It's not that they want to do it necessarily.
But I feel like this movie does enough to avoid that because, again, they even have like her mother who's talking to her is like, I don't know why you like hunting, and then she's just like, because they say I can't do it.
Right.
You know, it's just like she's doing it for herself. She's doing it because she's like, this is who I am.
Right.
You know, she's and I don't know. I like her proving herself. I like her being a total badass.
Yeah.
Like, I get where they're coming from. I do understand that.
But I do want to recognize that perhaps there is some that kind of story can be problematic. Especially if it's not written from the right lens. But this movie,
right.
I think it was. She's just such a powerful character. I think it overcomes that.
Well, she's also. It's also technically a period piece, so it's like it's just.
Yeah,
this is like the way they lived too at the time.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like it would have been wrong if they do it from any other lens.
Yeah, they have to. That's the line that I'm talking about. They have to walk. And you think they did it well, and I think I can agree. I just feel like a lot of people are tired of seeing misogyny in film.
That's fair.
We can't act like it's not there as well. So,
and I also feel like that's part of the heart of the Predator franchise too. Is like I feel like you can't have the Predator franchise without misogyny. That's a lot of it.
That's fair, and this character totally overcomes all that too. I just love the. Yeah, I loved watching it, so I give it a face and a half, and I do want to watch it again. If somebody's like, "Hey, no, I haven't watched it,"
and I say it wins the sequel smash too. I think it went above and beyond the original.
I think so.
The original is always going to be a classic and have its own place in history, whereas Prey might not. But I enjoy Prey more. Like, it's definitely the best sequel we've had of this franchise.
I would agree without even seeing the other sequels. Because it just, I feel like it was just so tasty good, and my headphone just died.
Yeah.
So can we just close? We've had so much trouble.
Yeah, we've been fighting so many technical issues, but yeah, that's been the show. Thank you, everybody. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
Oh, and I am the Faceless Leone. Sorry for the glitchy tech episode. I don't know if the Green Traveler said something to the same effect or not, but we love you. Safe travels and good night. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.